Look at that, the diehards. Huh? Oh, wow, even a CHGO chant from Robbie. The diehards are here. It's opening day. We're in Wrigleyville. We're at Country Club. Make sure you get out here. We're going to be here from 11 to 12, live pregame show. Goose Island hooked us up with drink specials, $6 Goose Island beers. We're going to have some merch giveaways for you guys out there. I see it. Praz is in the building. Robbie's in the building. Shane was here earlier. That's right. The chat is going to be firing.
Slight mishap. We did play the Bulls audio. The buttons are different on the Studio B. Right. But I'd say if that's our biggest problem for our first ever live show, it's off to a good start. So
Joey.
Thank you.
He doesn't deserve it.
I hope all my fans caught my accidental live show this morning.
4 minutes of Joey's head. It was beautiful. And by the way, that is the first strikeout of the season, Joey. You're 0 for 1. We're going to have all kinds of fun stuff on the show today. But first of all, we want to tell you the exciting news. If you didn't hear this yesterday, the new dope merch has arrived. It is out. It is ready. We got new merch. Sick drip for Cubs fans, diehards that are out there and want to hang out. We have two of them. One of them designed by our own Corey Freedman. Cody Delmendo also here, by the way. I'm Luke Stuckmeyer. Corey loves to say beautiful and historic, just like Pat Hughes, the Hall of Famer. We have a beautiful Cubby blue shirt, beautiful and historic, written in white. Looks like the marquee. Go get it, allchgo.com. The other one is called CHGO Ivy, I believe. That is CHGO in bricks. You've got the ivy around it. You got 312 on it, and you have the beautiful and historic on the back of that shirt. So allchgo.com. Now, my suggestion as we get ready for Cubs and Brewers at Country Club is you go and sign up to be a diehard if you're not already a diehard, because with the diehard, you get all of Ryan Herrera's articles throughout the season, Jared Willis, all of our other great writers at CHGO. But you also get, when you sign up, discounts to the merch. You get discounts to events like this. You get discounts on basically everything. And when you sign up the first time, you get your choice of a free shirt. So if you like one of these free shirts or the one I'm wearing, Hey Chicago, what do you say? You've already built that into the price for the diehard membership for 1 year. We are going to have some giveaways, so that's another way to get one possibly today. Oh, look at that. Bumper stickers or stickers for your computer like the kids do. That's what the kids call sick drip.
Oh, stuck.
That's what I'm told. Sick drip. We will have Who You Got picks coming up. Everybody's been waiting. I know it's been an off season. Everybody was worried about, are they going to get a shortstop? How are you going to fix Who You Got? Both have been taken care of. The commissioner's in the building. I'm ready to take care of that. How do you guys feel on opening day, and what does opening day mean to you?
I feel great. I'm going to Wrigley Field in like an hour.
Season
gonna have a
ticket
hot
holder.
dog. Dansby Swanson's in the lineup. Marcus Strowman on the mound. I feel great. Walking over here from like my apartment, like walking all the way down Clark. You go past all those bars. Everybody's out. The neighborhood's alive. We're watching Dexter Fowler in a powder blue suit doing pregame.
Yeah,
I mean, the vibes are immaculate in Wrigleyville, Luke. It's a little cold, but we'll get through it.
Today is the one day where you can sit here and say, when the Cubs win today, they are on pace for 162 wins. That's the facts. Don't let the facts get in the way of a good story. So if the Cubs win today, I already bet them to win today, they are on pace for 162 wins. So when you ask me, Luke, how do I feel? What'd you say, Kevin? That would be a record. That would be a record. It would be a record, 162-0. You can always dream it. So, Luke, when you ask me what does opening day mean to me, it means that there's hope. I know it's a dangerous thing, but man, do I dive right into it every year. And I feel like that's part of what being a Cubs fan is all about. As people say, or as I say, as Michael Scott has said, I'm ready to be heard again. But at the same time, let's go 1-0 today, baby. Let's go 1-0.
How about a let's go Cubs chant? Because here's the deal. They're in first place. Huh? First place Cubs. That's how you feel good. They're in first place. They win today. They're always in first place. They may stay that way the rest of the year. I like the fact that opening day is about hope. Last year was tough. We went through a lot of pre- and post-game shows with these diehards where it was stock up, stock down, and all we talked about was who's going to be traded and who are they getting for them. That's what last season was, let's be honest. And we've had too many of those the last couple seasons here in Wrigleyville. So no team in any sport, in any country, has more diehards than the Chicago Cubs. How do I know that? Because they put up with losing for 108 years. So it's over. They won the World Series. People forget that.
What happened at the end of 108 years, Luke?
They won the World Series.
What was that again?
People forget that.
People forget that.
So you guys can't see the chat, by the way. I don't know if you have it pulled up, but I do want to say Michael Collada is wearing his CHGO shirt today. So that might deserve.
He's the godfather of CHGO's podcast.
He is.
Mike Dubbs also says the pageantry is immaculate. The vibes and Delmetrics are high today.
That's right.
Delmetrics are high today.
Delmetrics are, people who don't want to take Delmetrics seriously, I don't know what to tell you anymore.
That's right.
I mean, I keep petitioning to Fangraphs, Delmetrics makes all kinds of sense. All it is basically vibes and anything against the St. Louis Cardinals. And Milwaukee Brewers today. So to me, it makes all kinds of sense.
It's its own thing.
Yeah.
Some people are Fangraphs people. Some people are baseball reference people. Some are Delmetrics people.
Sure. They should be Delmetrics and Fangraphs people, in my personal opinion. only because I know Corey and Brennan are Fangraphs people.
We're a Fangraphs family. Yeah.
I don't. Why I subscribe to Delmetrics because it skews blue a little bit. It goes that way a little bit, but I can't say what the rest of the formula is for Delmetrics. I can just say they're fairly accurate.
Yeah.
And let me tell you something else. Cody already used my line. Don't let the facts get in the way of a good story. But I've been using his line for the last year, vibes. Hashtag vibe with us. That's my new saying. And I've got to call my guy, the Cap Man, because I heard him on the radio on the way here this morning throwing the word vibes out there. And I thought, my God, he's been listening to Cody Delmendo. He's trying to steal Cody's bit. It's all about the vibe. So we're going to find out what that's about. Let me tell you what it is vibe. I looked at this lineup today and I thought, you know what? This is a legitimate major league lineup. This may not be a World Series lineup, but this is going to get you some wins. And I'll predict how many wins later in the show. But Nico Hoerner leading off. Dansby Swanson, second and short. It's back to Dernier and Sandberg. It's the daily double. We've got Hoerner and Swanson. And then Happ, Bellinger, Mancini, Gomes, Hosmer, Wisdom, and Bona Beef, Master Boney. Listen, those are real major league players. This is nothing against Frank Schwindel and Alfonso Rivas and
Ortega.
End of his career, Jonathan VR, Ortega. It's nothing against those guys. Are they good baseball players? Yes, compared to the rest of us. Were they, at that point, Major League Baseball players? Praz is saying he could probably outrun some of those guys, which is a possibility. I've seen him run. All I can say is this is a Major League lineup, and although they're facing Corbin Burns, I have faith. The sun has come out, and when I came down 90 today, I started thinking about my preseason prediction, and I thought, I can't go too low on this. And all of a sudden, there was a cloud shelf over the city of Chicago as you approach the city from the north side. And I'm coming in, there's this cloud shelf, and all of a sudden, the clouds get soft at the bottom, and there's this beautiful, warm sunlight starting to rise up from the horizon, and I thought, my God, I'm going 162-0 this year. It's going to happen. And it hit me. I have seen the light. That's what I kept thinking as I was driving towards the light in Wrigley Field.
That was a Pat Hughes-esque painting of a picture by you there. That was very nice.
I
felt like I was in the car with you.
As I was wearing my CHGO piping.
Imagine if me and Luke were in the car together with that.
It was beautiful.
Yeah.
It was a beautiful sight, and I thought to myself, one thing, that same word, hope. There's hope that this team could get to the postseason. Going into last year, I looked at Cody for an entire summer, and I knew if he looked me in the eyes, he was going to see it. There was no hope there. There was no hope whatsoever that team was going anywhere. This year, you've got hope.
Well, and you look at this lineup, too, and you imagine, say, a Suzuki somewhere in the middle when he's back healthy.
Yeah.
And it's even better, right? So, but yes, compared to last year, this is definitely a more legitimate Major League lineup.
For sure. They can get some runs across. And Marcus Strowman, by the way, what do you expect out of Strowman today against Burns? This is it. He's getting his start on opening day. Kyle Hendricks is on the shelf. This is the guy you paid to be your ace.
Yeah,
he was really good at the end of last season. What are you expecting today, and what are you expecting this season from Marcus Strowman?
Yeah, so when I think about when I think about the best starts I've seen from Stroh, I think about the one on May 1st last year at Milwaukee against Corbin Burns. 7 strong. and I've referenced it before in previous shows where he had that start and then he got COVID and then he had shoulder inflammation because he came back too early. And, he had a great second half. But the point is, specifically for today, he can go out there and compete against Corbin Burnes. First off, he's paid to do it, paid very well to be able to do that. And also, he's proved it before. So the games matter now a lot more than those games in the second half of last year. But, like I said when we were talking about him when he was named the opening day starter a few days ago, when you're paid the way he is paid, he's expected to go out there and just be a quality starter. I'm not asking for 10 strikeouts, 8 innings. I'm asking for just 6 innings and getting outs however way you can, man.
Yeah. And I expect him to start Cody mentioned it, but he dealt with a lot at the beginning of last year. He had the lockout, shortened spring situation and all that, so he got off to a slow start, but I expect him to start a lot quicker this year. And I think, like Cody said, just keep the Cubs in the game today. Opening day is usually an interesting day, right? The weather is weird. Everybody's adrenaline is running high. So just keep the team in the game. That's what happened last year, right? They were in the game, tie game in the 5th. Nico Horner hit the 2-run home run. That's all you need from Stroh today. He doesn't have to throw a complete game shutout. Just try to keep pace with Burnes here and give the offense a chance.
I know these are old school stats, but some of the old school stats, if you use them correctly, can still tell you something about a guy. Marcus Strowman was 6-7 last year with a 3.50. Okay? It's not what you want from an ace. His last winning season was 2017. His last 10-win season was 2019. Both of those have to change this year. Period. I know that wins don't tell you everything, but they do tell you something if you're on a decent team, and if you're in the game enough, you will get enough wins. I'm not asking him to be a 20-game winner because that number can be skewed left and right. Double-digit wins, period. More wins than you have losses. Keep yourself and your team in the game. I think he can do it. I think it also helps that he's got a better pitching staff behind him this year. He has the best defense he's ever had behind him this year. We hope that makes a huge difference for the Cubs. By the way, the chat is absolutely blowing up.
Well, and Luke,
I got 154 watching right now.
I wanted to add, especially on Strowman, I'm most excited. He talked about it in the spring when he said, the Sanker's going to be sankin', right, Cody?
Yeah. Right.
I'm excited to watch today. It's the first time we obviously get to see Nico and Dansby up the middle with Cody Bellinger in center field. That should be the game plan for Marcus Strowman. Get them to pound the ball into the ground and let your defense convert that into outs. I don't care if he doesn't strike anybody out, right? Throw that sinker, get them to put it on the ground, let the two of them up the middle take care of business, because that's the recipe for success, especially for Marcus Strowman. Marcus Strowman is such a ground ball pitcher, and the Cubs went out and they prioritized that defense, right? So let's see it in action. Bunch of ground balls, let him do the work.
You know what I want to see in action? Braggs in the stands. Our guy, Greg Braggs, he's hit us with the first super chat of the official Cubs baseball season. Baseball season's underway, and you better get ready for a brand new day. Hey, Chicago, what do you say? CHGO Cubs with a dub today. They're singing Go Cubs Go, CHGO, hey, Chicago, what do you say? And then he said, brick by brick. Brick by brick, this team is being built.
Oh, yeah,
Braggs, beautiful. Prison Mike says, let's fly the W. Prison Mike, good luck. We'll send you something in a cake.
But I wonder why Gary says I need a new jersey. It's an Ernie Banks jersey.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Shane came in today with a Hayward, and I was like, that's bold.
That is bold.
That's a bold move.
No.
But you know what?
Hey.
You pay for a jersey. They're not cheap.
No.
Got to get the most out of it.
I mean, if you had
Cody
a Rafael Ortega one, you're sitting on gold. If you think about it in 10 years.
Do you have the chat up, Cody?
I do have the chat up.
Can you sing that? Mr. Braggs would like you to sing what he wrote. The lyrics to his song.
I'll give it a shot.
So I think that's the way to get the vibes up early in the Cubs.
Gary said
Baseball
Cody.
season's underway. Dun, 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 dun. And you better get ready for a brand new day. Hey, Chicago, what do you say? CHGO Cubs with a dub today. They're singing Go Cubs Go.
Oh, he's beautiful. What a voice.
CHGO. Hey, Chicago, what do you say? I love you, Braggs.
That was beautiful.
That was beautiful.
I wouldn't have been able to do that without Goose Island in my system. Shout out to Goose Island.
Big shout out to Goose Island. I saw Niren walk in. Another one of the regulars
What's up,
here.
Niren?
Niren's in the building. He's got great advice for us. He doesn't like some of the draft picks the last couple of years, but he's still a Cubs fan.
If we're going back to the lineup,
Yeah,
Cody and I were talking. I'm a little curious. I know Patrick Wisdom has been with this team. He's getting that first look at third base. A little curious that I kind of expected we would see Edwin Rios today, get the lefty power in there against Burns, but Patrick Wisdom gets a nod.
It's a little peculiar. It might just be a nod from the manager on opening day to a guy that's been here.
Yeah.
That's most likely what it is. I don't know. We make a lot out of. We spent all of last year picking apart lineups and stuff, and for the most part, I think it's a little bit overrated about where somebody's hitting and which specific guy is playing. It's a roll of the dice.
Yeah.
But this will be the first year that I will feel comfortable judging David Ross on his decisions because he actually has players this year. He hasn't had players. How can you judge a guy that was marching out the lineup that he had to march out last year, and then you trade away guys at the deadline again? There's no way to judge it.
Yeah.
So this will be the first time we really get to see what he's made of as a manager.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of like what you're saying about guys where they're at in the lineup, I mean, I think we're going to get a good dose of Nico Horner at the top. And if things, God forbidding, like if things don't go well, then we'll see what happens. But I think Nico Horner could easily make it through the entire season as a leadoff hitter, just based off the type of hitter he is and type of player he is. And he's got a lot to prove. He just got the contract extension, and obviously, we want to see him here for longer than just the next 4 years. But this year is a big year for him in terms of proving that, hey, I was worth investing in and stuff like that, and
will be worth investing in again.
Yeah. And like I said yesterday, to me he is the most likely to be an all-star this year, just because there's so many shortstops, great shortstops in the National League. That doesn't mean Dansby Swanson is having a bad year, but there's just a lot to choose from.
Yeah.
I think Nico Horner could easily be a top 5 second baseman in the National League this year, and anyone who doesn't think that, I think you're high. We're drinking too much Goose Island. But in a way, that's also good because Goose Island's good, and we love Goose Island. So at least you're drinking all your Goose Island.
I think until we see some more of the new guys, I think David Ross is going to roll with those 3 guys at the top. I think he wants Horner, Swanson, Happ at the top. They're going to give Cody Bellinger a shot, hitting cleanup.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens there. Obviously, so much potential there, but we've seen him struggle at times. I can see a lot of that getting flipped depending on how the season goes, but I think in the early going, definitely those 3 in some order, even if he ends up changing stuff like
the swings that I saw from Bellinger in these last couple games.
He looks good. He looks healthy.
And I know they were spring training games, but the Cubs were putting out a lineup that you were like, oh, I could envision this in on opening day or the first couple games of the year.
Yeah.
They were putting him in these similar type spots, and again, the at-bats he was having were very good, and like Brendan said on you guys' show on Friday, the strikeout rate is down to where it was whenever he was an MVP in 2019. So, again, tempered expectations with Bellinger, but I think that there's a high ceiling there. But you could say that about a lot of guys on this team.
We have a great super chat that just came in, $2 from Joel Nielsen saying, here's $2, never let Cody sing again. That's $2
right.
Well spent. That's $2. But let me tell you something.
Brag's ass, man.
Joke's on y'all. He's singing the 7th inning stretch today. So.
And let me tell you this. I'm never going to tell you how to Cub. If Cody wants to sing, he can sing. If he gets a little out of hand, I am going to buy a spray bottle at Home Depot tonight so that I can.
Listen, though. My friend Matt, shout out to Matt Minnis, M-Bone HD. He did bring me, like I said on the show last week, he did bring me the beer bat from spring training. And after W's, this will be used in the studio. So I'm excited about this. So
and if one of us gets mad at the other one.
Yo, that too.
Yeah.
But I will say that I will be using this after W's this year. I won't sing, but I will be using this.
That's awesome.
French Bulls TV watching us from France, by the way.
From France. Welcome in.
Goose Island's on the fridge. Baking a pizza. Let's go, Cubbies.
Hell yeah.
Is it 26? The bats are 26-ounce beers, right?
26 ounces.
Fill them up with Goose Island. You're good to go. Shout out to Goose Island and Country Club, by the way, where we're doing the pregame show. If you're watching us live, you're missing out, but we're with you as well, and we appreciate that. There's a lot of different guys I think could have a big impact on this season. And we'll get to some of those predictions and even bold predictions, if you will, in just a little bit. Praz is over across the room saying, for $4.99, let's hear some Party in the USA, Cody. No. See, that's the dangerous thing about the live audience.
That's dangerous.
Got to be country, given the bar. Got to stick to country.
I'll sing you some Morgan Wallen or something.
No. Let's just. What were you singing last year? Was it Nickelback?
We were singing Creed last year.
Creed, that's what it was. Creed. I made you sing Creed. And
can you take me higher?
Oh, everybody involved.
The whole bar.
Wow, this is supposed to be a country bar, but everybody loves the Creed.
Who doesn't love Creed? If you don't like Creed, I just think you're lying to yourself.
Creed over Nickelback? It's a tough call. That's a tough call. That's a showdown.
That's tough.
That's a showdown.
The real ones know that we were singing Creed last year, though, because it was like in the middle of the season.
Joel Nielsen just gave me $4 to cover the spray bottle for you for the rest of the season.
I think we're going to need that more when Hayden Wisniewski starts pitching. I think that's when
I might need that.
That's when Cody and all of us are going to get a little out of control.
I might need the spray bottle. That's when
not necessarily on opening day.
By the way,
keeping it chill on opening day.
We have our own show up on a monitor here at Country Club, and on the other two, I see Marquee is up, and I was watching the pregame show as we're talking. And they're all in winter hats and parkas. And let me tell you, that looks real soft. It's why we did the show inside.
Yeah, I agree.
Veteran move.
Indoor
show. Country Club. Nice and warm here, let me tell you.
Nice and warm.
All right, so.
Great beer, like we said. Goose Island.
Cody, here's the deal. We've got bold predictions coming up here on the CHGO Cubs podcast. Speaking of bold, Cody is going to tell you how to be bold in the bedroom. Go ahead, Cody.
And I got to do this in a minute, according to our salespeople?
No, at least a minute.
At least a minute.
Give it a minute.
All right. I'll give you a minute.
You have to last a minute, Cody. That's what we're telling you. I've
been saying all week. I fell in love in this bar a couple times, and it didn't work out because I didn't have Roman, all right? A lot of guys want a better sex life, and 50% of men have symptoms that get in the way of wanting or enjoying sex. Do you want a better sex life? If so, you're not alone. But Roman is here to help, guys. Corey. Roman is the Roman is the digital health clinic for men, addressing a variety of sexual health needs and offering genuine medication that helps achieve and maintain a strong erection. I can't believe I just said that in the bar. Roman offers discreet wipes.
It's the first time you've said it in a bar. Come on.
I'm gonna let that one go, Stuck. Roman offers discreet wipes that help you last 4 times longer in bed. And men with low T getting testosterone levels back to normal can help increase your libido. Roman offers a testosterone test, which includes lab processing. And if it's appropriate for you, treatment for low testosterone. No waiting rooms, no hassle, straightforward digital experience from the comfort of home. If medication or testing is appropriate, Roman will send it directly right to your door. Everything arrives in discreet packaging with free 2-day shipping. To learn more about how you can achieve your personal sexual health goals, go to ro.co/CHGO to get 20% off your entire first order. That is ro.co/CHGO.
Don't start the season unprepared. Go out and get yourself some Roman.
Yes.
We have a super chat that I'm going to tell you about in a second that's going to absolutely explode your head. But first, I want to tell you about Fubo TV. I've got it on my phone is the way I like to do it. And I can live stream 140-plus channels of sports, shows, movies, and news. I can live stream TV from anywhere, right here at the Country Club Bar on Clark. You can watch the most Chicago sports for the lowest price. You can start watching right away on a 7-day free trial from Fubo TV. No contract, no cable, no hassle. Just sign up, start watching. 1,000 hours of cloud DVR included, no extra charge. Watch the local teams while traveling. We got the Frozen Four coming up April 6th to the 8th. Most importantly, Cubs fans, Marquee is on Fubo TV. That's right. You can catch all the Cubs games. Use the link in the description for 15% off your first month of Fubo Pro. Tell them CHGO sent you. That's the promo code. Don't forget it. Fubo's great. It's a really clean stream. You get a lot of channels, and if you're a cord cutter because you don't like the big company, that's the way to go.
I agree.
I totally, I'm on board with it.
Yeah.
You ready for the super chat?
Can we do the other thing before the super chat that I just saw?
What's the other thing?
Someone in the chat was asking about T.Hood9. He was asking about opening day Jordans, and I got the University Blues on today.
Oh wow!
These are fun fact. First pair of Jordans I ever, or first pair of ones I ever owned.
And which ones did you say Dexter Fowler's wearing on Marquee?
The threes. He's wearing the threes.
Okay. I almost wore the originals that I won. You know, the epic one that I.
The Chicago ones.
The Chicago OGs. I almost wore them. Listen to the people screaming for us. Listen to this. Do you hear it?
I can do it.
It's a little feedback. I'm going to blame it on Praz.
Are we having some technical difficulties?
He was trying to outrun some people. I don't want any interference for this because, first of all, hashtag Mike Dubs. This is day 48 of 48 straight 50 straight mentions. Actually, what are we, about like 38 now? Mike Dubs gave us the $50 super chat for the season. Then Gerard matched him with a $50 super chat. But today, Gerard has gone all out.
$162.
For 162-0 season, Gerard has given us a $162 super chat to start the season. Gerard, let me hear a CHGO chant. Can we get one going for Gerard?
CHGO, CHGO, CHGO. Hell yeah. See,
that's a vibe right there.
That is how you manifest 162 games. Like, that's how you manifest 162-0 is just a couple thousand more $162 super chats. That might help us go to London. I'm just saying. But Gerard, I love my guy. I love my guy Mike Dubs. But Gerard, you might be taking over the entire show for my new favorite CHGO Cubs guy.
So. Michael Collada says $162. That's my Social Security check.
God bless Michael Collada, the Godfather.
I just hope there is a Social Security check when I need it in about 10 years or less. All right. We're getting ready for Cubs and Brewers. It's opening day. 2023 is finally here. Cubs spent a lot of money this offseason, over $300 million, 177 of that on Dansby Swanson. I want to know some bold predictions from anybody. You can shout one out from the crowd. You can put one in the chat. Corey, Cody. I'm going to start you off with one right now. The Cubs are going to win more games than at least two of these three teams. Brewers, Cardinals, White Sox. Cubs are going to have more wins than Brewers, Cardinals, White Sox. It might be all three, but I guarantee you it's 2 out of the 3 this year. And that's good because while the Brewers and Cardinals are the division rivals, obviously, there's still some disdain for the team on the other side of town. Not hate. Fair. I don't hate them. I don't hate the White Sox. But I think that I don't think any of those 3 teams are that much better than the Cubs, to be honest with you.
I agree.
That's just, I'm not trying to blow smoke. I don't think the Brewers are that great. I don't think the Cardinals are that great. They have 2 great players, but I don't think the roster is that great. And the White Sox, until they show me they're actually a team that can win a playoff series since 2005, I won't believe it.
That's fair. My bold prediction is that the Phillies will not make the playoffs. I don't think I don't think the Phillies make the playoffs, and because of that opens up the wild card for the Cubs. And so the Phillies, they're not going to have Harper to start the year. Who, let's be real, he's one of the best hitters in the league.
But Schwartz is going to lead the league in home runs again.
Perhaps. 37.5 on DraftKings are my favorite app. I love to open up every morning when I wake up. But I know they added Trey Turner, but with Harper being out, and I just don't like the depth. The depth is not good there, and their farm system stinks. And they lost Rhys Hoskins for the year. So give me the Cubs to get in the wild card if they're not going to win the division, because the Phillies do not get in. So that's where I'm at.
Fernando, by the way, in the chat saying hashtag vibes at country club. Gerard is the GOAT, has been mentioned in the chat. Niren's bold prediction, Mets under 90 wins.
Ooh.
Well, they got a lot of old people.
I like that. Niren from the top rope.
As the old guy in the room, I can tell you, they got a lot of old guys on that team.
I think if I were going bold, I don't know exactly how to phrase this, but I think there's at least 2, and I mean this in a good way, I think there's at least 2 Cubs pitchers in this rotation that end up better than Marcus Strowman this year. I think Marcus
Strowman, by the end of the season, will be the third best pitcher on the team.
Marcus Strowman's taking the ball on opening day, which I think makes a lot of sense. I think it's how it should have gone. I think by the end of the year, though, he is not. You wouldn't look at him as the number 1 or 2 starter in this rotation.
All right, well, I'm going to stop you in your tracks. Does that mean that you think Strowman's going to regress?
No,
or
the
that
opposite.
It's going to be that the young guys or somebody else improves so much that they even leapfrog the guy that's starting on opening day?
Yes.
The aliens, they're back.
I think Steele, Wisniewski, and Tyone all have a very strong potential to just be that good. So it's nothing against Stroh. I think Stroh will have a great season, but I'm just excited for those other 3.
Anyways, here, let me think of another one. Let's see what the crowd thinks of this. Here's my bold prediction for you. The Cubs will add a major piece at the deadline, and his name will be Shohei Me the Way. Shohei Ohtani. That's my bold prediction. I believe the Cubs will be in on it. I know it's a bold prediction. It's probably a little screwy. You could probably squirt some water in my face. If Michael Collada was here, I would let him throw a cold glass of water in my face. What if Shohei shows before the season's over?
I mean, you're going to have to.
If Shohei Ohtani is traded to the Cubs before the end of the year, I might not be alive.
That's what I said.
Because I will be going absolutely bonkers like I was in my bathroom the other night when the Cubs extended a homegrown player. If Shohei Ohtani is a Cub before this season is over, you're going to have to check on my health.
Right, like we did with Brendan when Brendan got the Nico Horner extension.
Right.
I think that would be everybody. I mean, I think everybody in Wrigleyville, everybody in Chicago, that would be the biggest baseball news in the world.
Prediction. I didn't ask for soft toss. I asked for something bold. So my other bold one is the Cubs are going to have at least 3 All-Stars. 3 All-Stars. Why? Because I think there's enough potential for guys to do it. Number 1, I think Nico is an all-star at second base. I think Dansby will hold his ground at shortstop and be an all-star. You only need one other guy. That could be Ian Happ, as I predicted yesterday, in left field, or it could be one of the pitchers like you're talking about. Could it be Tyone?
I think it
could be Strowman? Could it be Wisniewski? Because I predicted he's going to be our Rookie of the Year in the National League. If he's going to be, he better be on the All-Star team. And that means he's going to pile up wins the first half of the season.
How many? What did they have? 7 in 2016? It was half the team, right?
Yeah, the whole infield. The whole infield was Cubs.
3's a start. We'll get there next year.
The chat is asking what shot I took. It was screwball. Shout out to Mike Prasnowski. Do not give me another one. Thank you. He's
got a post-game show to do, folks. Come on.
Yeah, guys. So let's have some integrity here, man.
Sean's bold prediction in the chat is Yan Gomes, all-star catcher.
Wow.
That is bold. You can't say it. That's bold.
I mean, he looked good in the spring. That would be a tall order for him to be an all-star there.
36-year-old,
I mean, really,
catcher,
what Cody needs more than anything, and I think it could be any metric, just one single metric, batting average, home runs, RBIs, does not matter, a made-up metric. If Yan Gomes is better than Wilson Contreras at one thing, that's what Cody needs, just one thing.
Even if it's just vibes in Delmetrics, the vibe percentage could be high.
I hate to say it, but I absolutely agree. I need Wilson Contreras to suck. I need him to suck. I'm sorry. I do not regret what I'm saying. I need him to suck.
He's dead to you.
He is kind of dead to me based off his comments this offseason, and I feel like a lot of people agree with me there. But it is what it is.
Most people agree with you there.
I'm not wishing ill will. I don't want him to get hurt or anything like that. I just want him to suck.
I want him to suck.
That's
I want him to suck. I want the Cardinals to suck.
Yeah.
The chat is saying it's bold, 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 what we've been saying. Gary Ross says, Luke, Morel for Ohtani.
That's what I'm talking about, Gary.
Gary, that's bold. That's what I like. Nick G says
somebody
Bellinger
should
goes
40-40.
40-40 for Bellinger?
40-40 for Bellinger.
So that's another thing. You bring that up. That's another thing we look at the lineup. Obviously, the bigger bases isn't, it's not like the biggest deal in the world. But we did see the Cubs, they were very aggressive on the bases last year.
Yes.
And now you have better base runners, right? We talked about a lot. Rafael Ortega got thrown out on the bases a ton. Wilson Contreras, I think fancied himself more like his friend Javier Baez than he could physically back up on the field, right? Mm-hmm. So now you've got Bellinger, who's an elite base runner, Dansby Swanson, a very good base runner. I'm curious today, like especially against a guy like Corbin Burns, who you don't expect to really put that much offense against, how aggressive is David Ross, and what does this team look like in terms of how aggressive they are on the bases? Because I expect them to be a pretty like aggressive base stealing team.
That's a good question, and the only thing I would say about the aggressiveness on the base paths today is it's cold. I don't need hamstrings popping left and right. I don't want to take the Tony La Russa method of everybody jogging down to first base. Get warmed up before you go on the field. Get stretched, get warmed up. Don't go crazy on the first game of the season. It doesn't mean don't go 100%. I'm just saying we don't have to try and steal 7 bases on opening day just to prove that we're going to be a team that can run the bases.
Yeah. But I'm just curious how quickly maybe we see that as part of this team's identity, right? Because, like, as we've talked about, they're not going to score the most runs in the league. They're not going to hit the most home runs in the league. But they are going to focus on their pitching, focus on their defense, and I think try to steal some of those runs, like to, use the pun there. Like, I think they're going to try to maximize getting guys on, getting them over, situational hitting, that type of thing. It's going to be key for them to be successful. If they can't do that stuff, they're not going to score enough runs to win.
No, that's what we said yesterday. They're going to have to do all the little things. Mm-hmm. If this is going to be a playoff team, not only do they have to have progress from guys like Wesneski and other young players, and at least some of the stopgap guys are going to have to be good, but they're going to have to do the little things well, which they did do in spring training. They're going to have to be good on the bases. They're going to have to play elite defense, and they're going to have to pitch well. I don't know if there's enough offense, but if they do the other things, the offense doesn't have to be even very good. It just has to be average.
Yeah, I mean, you're hoping, and I say hope, which sucks for me to say, but you're hoping that guys like Edwin Rios, who we've talked about a lot, and you're hoping for guys like Bellinger, and you're hoping for Suzuki to take a step from last year and be able to stay on the field once he comes back in mid-April. You're hoping for a lot of these guys to come back or take steps. Edwin Rios was a guy, when he was with the Dodgers, he just didn't have the opportunity. Justin Turner was in his spot. Freddie Freeman was in his spot. Like, they kind of talked about that on Marquee recently. And, I kind of agree. We watched Edwin Rios in the spring, and we're like, this guy has that kind of power? I didn't know that, because no one knew who he was. He's 28. It's not like he's 35. He's 28. Hasn't really got the full opportunity, and he's not starting today, which is a little surprising considering Corbin Burns on the mound and he's a righty and Wisdom's a righty. But I think Rios could be someone who really shocks us, and if he does perform in a way that is productive, maybe that adds to more wins. I don't know, but he's just one example. There's plenty of other dudes, but there's also dudes who are proven. Ian Happ he proved last year he can be a very good player.
When he's playing for, apparently playing for a contract, right? Like they're talking about it.
And Dansby Swanson was a 6-WAR player last year. We just paid him $177 million over the next 7 years. You just extended Nico Horner, who we believe is only ascending. Like there's guys on this roster that we keep talking about the guys who need to prove something, but there are some guys on the roster that have, and you can feel good about going into the year. And so I again, like Luke said, the pitching and defense will be the reason this team wins. And like I said yesterday, if you get 2 of the 3 facets of winning a baseball game, you're always going to be in the game at least.
Yeah, they're putting up a stat on Marquee showing the last 3 opening days, and 5-4 over the Brewers last year. Hold on, I gotta put that on. How many runs do you think are scored today?
Well, what's the over?
I mean, when the sun's out, it feels warmer. When you're in the sun, it feels warmer. What are you trying to show me here?
Ryan's on his way.
Yeah, Ryan is on his way.
Herrera's on his way, everybody.
When you see the short guy walk in, that's him. Sorry, Ryan.
Or Nick Madrigal.
Or it might be Nick Madrigal or Ryan Herrera.
Yeah. Did Madrigal get loose from the clubhouse? Somebody direct him back there. Or don't.
Yeah.
But Ryan is trying to get here because he knows the who you got rules are about to be laid out. That's what this is. Ryan is rushing
Ryan
over
has
here.
to be here for who you got.
One more thing I'm
the over-under
curious
is 7.
if we get to see it today is
Cody with his shirt off?
well, no, I don't want to see that. But
I don't want to see that either.
Too cold.
Is it a close enough game that we get to see how David Ross uses a high-leverage bullpen? We've seen that. Obviously, I think Fulmer's last outing of the spring was not how the rest of his spring went. Got blown up a little bit. But if they have a chance, the opening day last year was a close game. You really needed those high-leverage relievers,
I think no matter what happens, let's say that situation does arise today, and that we have the high-leverage situations, whatever he does with the bullpen today most likely won't be what he does with the bullpen in 2 weeks. They'll just be
probably
different guys in and out. So I feel like we shouldn't overreact to whatever, good or bad. I wouldn't overreact to what the bullpen does today, tomorrow, the rest of the series. Well, not tomorrow. The rest of the series. Whatever happens, the first month of the season might be an overreaction because we don't know who's really going to be a part of it and who's maybe 2 or 3 weeks in. Then you can start to look at the bullpen and get a better idea of what he's going to do. But I don't know that just in one game or 1 week you can really – maybe he gives you a glimpse of it, but I don't know that everybody's here.
Yeah, that's fair.
Hughes, we know, is going to be a part of the bullpen. So you take him out, that already makes a large factor. Ryan Herrera on his way, by the way. We're at Country Club, Goose Island, $6 right here. Thanks to everybody that showed up. We got merch gives. Are we going to do some merch giveaways soon? Can we do some merch giveaway?
Jake is saying yes, we're doing merch giveaways.
How do we want to go about doing that? That's the question. First, I'm going to tell you about the ComEd Energy Efficiency Program, committed to helping families and businesses in the communities we serve manage energy usage and lower energy bills now and into the future. ComEd offers a wide array of incentives on lighting and other efficiency upgrades to commercial, industrial, and public sector customers of all sizes across our territory. Customers can inquire about how to upgrade outdated lighting to energy and money-saving efficient LEDs, learn more about network lighting to operate your lights through your mobile device, and track your facility's energy usage and more. Incentives have recently increased for indoor-outdoor lighting and network lighting controls, making these projects even more cost-effective than ever before. Visit ComEd.com/poweringbiz right now to start saving money and energy. To start a project, contact them at 1-855-433-2700. For more information, email businessee@comed.com or publicsectoree@comed.com. Baseball season's here. It's opening day at Wrigley Field, the season opener, Cubs and Brewers. And the one thing you want to do this baseball season is know what you're talking about. So get your latest fantasy baseball news from RotoWire, a pioneer of fantasy sports for more than 25 years. They'll give you cheat sheets, customer player rankings to fit all your leagues, rotisserie points, 10 category, 30 category. Let their experts analyze all those wild stats out there for you. Barrel rate, WRC+, mock drafts galore. Ask the expert function, premium fantasy draft kits, start, sit. That's key throughout the season. Add, drop, trade advice, and lineup optimizers. Once the season starts going, you'll use all those things. But what you can use all year long as well, sports betting articles. They do that too. They'll tell you right now, if you go there, about their preseason predictions for win totals. Who might be headed for a big season? Who's a player you want to keep an eye on? All of those things at RotoWire. And not just baseball, too. Fantasy advice on everything. Golf, soccer, NASCAR, XFL. And for a limited time right now, RotoWire is offering a free 2-day trial to our listeners at CHGO. All you have to do is go to rotowire.com/CHGO to register. No commitments. They're so confident you're going to like their product and want to invest in a subscription plan that they don't even ask for a credit card up front. So take a peek behind the paywall. When the trial is done, you can decide if a RotoWire package is right for you.
Breaking news, Stuck.
Yeah.
Mark Carmen is in the building. And
Carm is here?
Gary was asking if Carm is there. So I'm letting Gary know that the Carm is here.
The Carm is here. He's been a Cubs fan. I can't confirm he's currently a Cubs fan, but he's a fan of CHGO.
Yeah.
He's a team player.
Also, it's starting to fill up here at Country Club a little bit more than when we first started the show 45 minutes ago. So shout out to everyone who's came out, getting their Goose Island, and hanging out with us, which means a lot. So, vibes are immaculate.
They're good. The sun is out. We can't tell how cold it is right now.
It looks warm from where I'm sitting.
Outside.
It looks beautiful from where I'm sitting. It looks like it could be 85 degrees out there.
You know, the constant stream of Cubs jerseys down Clark. The bars are filling up. Looks great. There was a line outside Clark and Addison. When I was walking over here, people are ready to get in there. They're in there now, filling up the bleachers. We're ready to go.
Country Club is the place to be because I look across the street. There's a nice little outdoor patio, but you know what? Too cold. Get indoors.
Nick G says that his train is close to Union Station, so he's got a book. See y'all soon. I don't know if that means if he's coming here or if he's just leaving the stream, but thanks for hanging out, man. We are, if you're wondering if you don't remember where Country Club is at, 3462 Clark, straight across from Demos.
You know where Demos is.
Straight across from Demos.
Everybody knows.
I love Demos. Demos is my favorite place to go to after a Cubs game to get food. The macaroni pizza.
Yep. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to try the macaroni pizza on the way back to the studios.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
He winks at me. Don't lie. Don't tease my emotions like that.
Can you get a slice of it? Just a slice?
Yeah, you can get a slice.
Done.
Yeah, I'm getting 2 probably.
Done, because Corey didn't bring me the Do-Right donuts that I asked for.
Corey didn't bring donuts. I didn't eat breakfast either because I thought Corey was bringing donuts and he didn't do it.
Oh, Meat Peck is in the house.
Matt Peck is in the building.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Cub
Shout out
vibes.
to all the CHGO people for coming and supporting us, man. God bless them. People don't realize that, like, we really are like a family. I'd go to war with all these people here. All these people from CHGO, I'd go to war for all of them, man. I love them all to death.
You know what? It's not just our teammates and staff members. Really, it's everybody in the chat.
That too, man.
That's what we've tried to build from day one, right? Like, we got to know each other. And, you know, now I have Cody and Corey are like brothers and Ryan too. But everybody in the chat that we've gotten to know over the time, Michael Collada's become a godfather to everybody.
Yeah.
We don't always agree with him. Sometimes he slaps a little reality in our face. But
we could call it that.
Cody's at one end of the spectrum. Michael Collada's at the other end. And we're going to do the merch giveaways for everybody that's here. We're going to do them about after the show.
10 minutes after the show.
10 minutes after the show. So stick around right after the show. The merch giveaways are still coming. And believe me, it's dope merch. And it's even more dope merch when it's free.
Oh, man. You give me free dope merch, man. Anything with free.
Then it's magnificent merch. When it's free, it's magnificent merch. There's a whole other thing.
Oh, man. Yeah, man.
Those are the FREE. Those are my favorite letters in the whole alphabet when you put them together. All right, so do you want to get to our season predictions, or which we talked about yesterday, but because it's opening day, I thought we should probably hit that again. Or do we want to jump ahead to the Who You Got rules because Ryan's not here yet?
In a way, I want to jump to Who You Got just to troll Ryan, but you know, it is always at the end of the show. Fairly.
Well, we're the last segment.
Yeah.
We only got 11 minutes left for the live show.
Yeah.
Although we're going to hang around a little bit after.
You're making good points, Stuck.
All right, let's just do our win totals, because this went out on the internet yesterday. And there were some positive vibes, a lot of hearts, a lot of thumbs up, all those fun things. And then there was some pushback. People saying, what kind of drugs are you on? Do you work for the team? Who are these clowns? And I will just say this. Those are all valid points.
Yes.
We understand that. But hashtag vibe with us. That's my response to that. Well, we might be a little optimistic, but I don't think we're outrageously optimistic. Cody had 87 wins last year. That was outrageously optimistic.
It was.
Because they were trying to lose.
Yeah.
This year they're trying to win.
Manifest.
So if I'm putting on my realistic glasses, my readers, you know, I really taking a look at it, does 80 wins sound like a good number? It's not the number I want to see, but could I see them finishing with 80 or 81 wins? Yes. I don't think they're going to be in the mid-70s. Things go wrong if they're in the mid-70s. You got problems if they're in the mid-70s.
I agree.
I predicted the lowest number of the group of us at CHGO. I said 83 because beer money forever.
83.
But I don't think 83 is an unrealistic number.
I think it's, you know, for the expectations on this team, and I think what everybody around the league maybe thinks of them, I think they're going to look at all of us picking them to be over 500, maybe in the playoff mix, and say, oh, that's too overly optimistic. But I think we all just think they're a better team than last year, and they should be able to win more than 74 games. And if they're in the mix a little bit, you know, we've talked about it. They have a lot of potential moves that they can make either via trade or through their own system to supplement as the season goes along. So I don't think that, you know, a lot of us, I think the average here is probably like 84, 85 wins. Like, I don't think that's outlandish. I think it would represent one of the obviously better outcomes for this roster and for this team, and you certainly are going to need a lot to go right. But I think it's just as reasonable for us to believe that enough will go right for them to be a competitive above 500 team as it is for us to point to all the things that could go wrong and say, well, no, this is going to go wrong, they're going to be bad. Like, you know, we root for the team. We're going to be on that side.
Ryan Herrera has arrived.
Oh, Ryan Herrera's walked in.
He's here.
Listen to the people. Listen to the people.
It's not Nick Madrigal, guys.
Ryan did start the chat, by the way. He started the chant. The range of our the range of our wins, 83 to 88, is not absurd.
I don't think that's crazy.
I take a little bit of offense of people who are like hating on my 88 wins. Obviously, I took the ceiling, but I think it's possible. I think, you know, I felt even better about it after Jake Peavy was on MLB Network last night saying the Cubs are going to win the division. So, you know, whatever.
Ryan's going to slide in here. We're going to try and make a little room. Give him an extra chair.
Should I just slide over?
Here. I'll go right up against the wall. Right over by Joey. Joey, by the way, running the ones and twos. Corey just gave me a hug. I feel like Big Dave's
we're getting
here.
Cozy here, you know?
Ryan Herrera is in the building.
Here.
Live from the clubhouse.
Now we're all here except for Brendan, who refused to come.
Are you just going to sit there? Okay. Is he in the camera, guys?
I'm going to sit.
You can sit here. Like, I'll move.
We're going to do this.
Ryan's coming in.
He's coming in.
This is all Jake's idea.
There it is. Ryan's
there he
in.
is.
There he is.
And by the way,
Herrera.
How's it going?
How cold was it over there?
It was pretty cold.
Yeah, looks a little chilly.
One
looks
might
a little
say.
chilly in this. Even in the sunshine, it looks a little bit chilly.
I lost my CHGO beanie. It was in my pocket as I was walking, and it fell out somewhere, and I can't find it. So my head was pretty cold. If I had that CHGO beanie, which you could get at chgolocker.com, my head would have been really.
You know where else you can get it? I believe we're having that might be one of the merch giveaways.
Maybe you can try and win one.
It's possible it's one of the merch giveaways.
You can try and win one. Yeah.
Ryan,
so whoever we give it.
Someone give the beanie to Ryan Herrera. He's got to go sit at beautiful historic Wrigley Field after this.
How are the vibes in the clubhouse?
Vibes are good in the clubhouse.
Can you feel the energy from David Ross's boys?
Yeah, we can feel the energy. But it's also, it's opening day. It's like it's the one day of the year that like hope springs eternal, pretty much, except maybe the start of spring training. It's just like you get here, everyone's 0-0. No one has a win, no one has a loss. At this point, you're like, oh, we can go 162-0 now.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen, but at least you have that hope.
With that energy, it's not going to happen.
I mean, maybe.
It's not going to happen.
We've been over here manifesting 162-0 for the last hour.
Cody wants 162-0. I would settle for 120-42.
That's fair, too. I take that,
But Ryan doesn't know what happened today. He doesn't know what happened. A couple magical things have happened this morning. When I came in on 90, it's about 8:50 in the morning. There was the low-lying clouds over the city. It was like Gotham City laying there in the darkness and the low, soft clouds. And then a soft, warm light rose from the horizon, and I said to myself, hope. Hope, Ryan. I saw the hope on the horizon, and I thought to myself, 162-0. And then I thought to myself, I slapped myself. I said, it's crazy. They're not going 162-0. And then what happened? Gerard hit us with a super chat for $162 this morning. $162.
Gerard's our new favorite guy, man.
And now I believe I've seen the light. Like the Blues Brothers, I've seen the light. And then Carm walked through the door. Yeah. Captain Positive over there.
Yeah. Captain Positive.
Speaking of driving in this morning, how was the Kennedy? Was it terrible?
It was not bad. It took me about an hour and 15 minutes, but I left just before 8 o'clock.
Okay. It could have been worse then.
Yeah. The closer to game time you leave, the worse it's going to be. I tried to find the sweet spot between hardcore rush hour and hardcore Cubs traffic.
There you go.
All right, here we go. This is the important part of the show. This is what everybody's been waiting for the last,
Can I say
6
it?
months.
Can I say it? Who you got?
Who you got is back.
It's back, baby. It's the most important part of the show, guys.
Robbie's
Who you
ready.
got?
Robbie's ready. Here's the deal.
Luke will literally fight someone for who you got points.
Now here's Danny Rocket just walked in. Danny Rocket's
Danny
even here.
Rocket's here.
There you go.
Danny could sing us our song. He could come over and sing the song. Who you got as the commissioner, as the appointed commissioner at the end of last season for the integrity of the game? I decided I was willing to take over as commissioner and step away from the game. What I decided this offseason was the people don't want that.
Oh.
So the people would like to see me as a commissioner/player.
Okay.
Similar to Pete Rose as a manager-player. He did bet on some games. I will bet on the Cubs and who you got. So we have to identify what the rules and regulations are. As the commissioner, the number one rule will be that the commissioner makes the final rule.
Okay.
Now, the rest of the rules are up for debate. I came up with an idea. Now, Corey sits here, and Corey is not around for every game.
Sure.
He likes to sit in the bleachers, or he likes to go sit in his seats.
I never sit in the bleachers, but
He never sits in the bleachers, but I'm trying to make it sound cooler.
That might change this summer, but
I'm trying to up your cool factor. Okay, so what we're going to do is I think we should go with a win percentage. So instead of just a who you got win, it's a win or a loss.
Oh. So now you're not just adding up wins, you're adding up
We're going to do
L's,
percent.
too.
We'll be able to later, when somebody else does the math, because I don't math, we'll be able at the season total to look at the percentage.
Oh.
The caveat would be that you have to participate in at least 50% of the picks.
Yeah.
So your record's going to have to add up to at least 50 of the times we did who you got.
Okay.
So Corey can get in on it, but Corey's got to get his picks in. I've got to remember 50% of the time to get in my picks. So
Corey, here's the thing. Corey can send him in. It's just if he's not there, he's not there to argue.
Yeah.
No,
so like it has to be a very clear
So
winner.
me and
for him to
Luke
win.
can just be sitting.
Brendan can send his vote in.
Yeah.
But Brendan's never going to be there.
But me and
Brendan has to be in 75% of the votes.
But me and Luke will be in
75%.
studio most nights of the season where we get to argue why me and him win, and Ryan will come in at the end and he'll get to argue.
Yep.
But Corey and Brendan, unless they're live with us, they don't get their argument. But
and if you're in studio,
that's
a tiebreaker. That's a tiebreaker. If you're in the building doing the show, that's a tiebreaker. It's close. That's a tiebreaker. So that would be number one. I think we go by win percentage. I got to thinking about the pitcher thing because last year I was banned from taking pitchers because the first 3 pitchers I took gave up 10 runs.
Yeah.
They got blasted. And then I was like, for the sake of this team that's tanking, I'm going to step away from the pitchers. So today, the right choice most likely could be Ryan Herrera's Marcus Strowman pick. Why? It's cold. It's opening day. The Cubs are better at pitching, hopefully, than they are hitting. At least that's the way it looks going into the season. I have an idea that if you take a pitcher and the pitcher bombs, it's decided by everybody in the chat or wherever. If the pitcher bombs, then you can't take a pitcher for another month.
For another month?
For another month. This one, decided by the chat, decided by an overall.
I say a week.
You want to just make it a week?
A month is a long. You could theoretically only be able to take
it's not that pitcher. It's like we don't want to have somebody just go, okay, today I'm taking Strowman. The next day they're taking Steele. The next day they're taking Tyone. The next day they're taking... Because pitchers are more likely to do well than the hitters are this season, at least on paper. So
2 weeks. 2 weeks that you can't take a pitcher. A 2 week...
Yeah, but it's any pitcher.
Well, nobody's picking relievers, though.
Well, you could if you think the guy's going to get a big 5-out save.
No.
You know how much I love Keegan Thompson, Corey.
All right, we'll make it 2 weeks. If you pick a pitcher and he bombs, you're banned from picking a pitcher for 2 weeks.
Got a super chat from Fernando.
Oh, is Fernando here?
Fernando.
He said great vibes.
We'll have to talk to Fernando after. I don't know where he is.
Fernando, if you're actually here, say hello.
Fernando's saying 97 wins, print it.
Hell yeah. See, again, we're manifesting We're manifesting a good season.
Everybody likes to compare this season to 2015,
yeah, it's a 97
win exactly the same amount. Yeah.
How do you want to handle the multi-point pick? Esteban Quiroz clearly deserved 3 points last year.
Clearly.
If you're able to make a bold prediction like that, can you call your shot and ask pregame for a point approval? Maybe it's a double points. Like, for instance, today, if Ryan wanted to say Nick Madrigal, I'll take Madrigal for 2 points, but obviously I risk a win-loss there. If I want to take Madrigal for 2, I can do it. The guy's not even in the lineup.
I think you could, but if you're wrong, then you have to add an extra loss at the end of it.
Oh, so double loss.
So if you're going to get an extra point, if you win it, if you lose it, you should get an extra loss.
All right. So why don't we cap it as a 2-point bone? You can do a 2 up or 2 down.
Yeah.
But you can't do like I'm doing at the end of the season. You can't be like, I'm doing 100 points on Madrigal to get a hit, and the guy gets a hit and he wins.
But I think
you did do that last year.
I went all in and did not win.
All right, so it's 2 up or 2 down. If you want to do something bold, you can take as many as 2 points, but you risk taking 2 losses.
Yeah, we're getting the rule. We're gonna have to get a rule book.
And again, final rule is commissioner rule.
Okay.
All right, so with that, who are we taking today? I got in there first. I jumped right in. I wanted to be the first person to ever take Dansby Swanson as your who you got pick for opening day.
Luke sent that in like
8 a.m.
quick.
8
He woke up.
I woke up at 7 a.m. to get here today. I thought 7 o'clock, boom.
He was in traffic.
Rise and shine, as Bragg says. Rise and shine.
Is who you got?
Corey?
I got Trey Mancini.
Trey Mancini, interesting. I saw him up there, by the way, on Marquee, and the old lookalike thing I used to do. He looks like Nick Swisher in the face. Very similar face to Nick Swisher. If you put the Nicky Swish.
I'd have to
White
see
Sox
him.
fans are really going to hate that guy.
I was going to say, I don't want to hold that against Trey Mancini because he seems like a great guy. I'll never say it again.
I'd have to see them both together just to.
I'm going to work on it.
That.
I'm going to work on it. All right.
I'm taking Ian Happ because he's got decent numbers against a guy like Corbin Burns, which a lot of people don't. Lefty versus righty, switch hitter, but he'll bat lefty against Corbin Burns, and he was kind of an opening day hero last year in this basically same game, except that Stroh is starting instead of Hendricks. So, give me Ian Happ. He's got a lot to play for. Give me Happer to do something incredible that wins me this, and which Stuckey will probably spend 5 minutes trying to argue against.
Robbie's with me. He's predicting 3 homers.
For Swanson?
Swanson. He's going to,
That's optimistic. I like it.
As we've talked about, I picked Strowman.
Tuffy Rhodes.
For my who you got. He's ready, man. It's not like last season where no one was ready, right, with the lockout shortened spring. Like, he had the whole spring. He already pitched in meaningful games in the WBC. I think he's ready to go today. I think we're going to see a really nice pitcher's duel between him and Corbin Burns. I don't know who's going to win that duel, but I think we're going to see a very good pitching performances on both sides today.
How about nobody picking Nico Horner?
Big of us, honestly.
Well, last year, Nico Horner was picked almost every single game.
I can't believe Brendan didn't even send it out.
I think if nobody picks Nico, who's on the show, Brendan just gets him by default.
Yeah.
No, Brendan.
I also think it's like, he just signed the contract. We don't want to put too much pressure on him now by picking him for who you got.
He's got to lead off. He already has enough pressure on his back.
Exactly.
He doesn't need that. Yeah.
That's where I'm at.
That's fair.
Brendan didn't make a pick. Jared didn't make a pick. So it's opening day. We're feeling nice. We're not going to give them assign them a player. Yes.
Brendan and Jared get Mark Leiter Jr.
Brendan and Jared get Mark Leiter Jr.
One gets Rucker, one gets Leiter.
2 clean innings. Anyway, this was fun. I appreciate everyone here at Country Club for hanging out with us. This was awesome.
Big time.
First live show I've ever done in my career. Live, at a remote location. Yeah.
Me too.
The first time I ever put one of these headsets on. This is insane stuff. If you would have told me I'd be doing this 2 years ago, I wouldn't believe it.
It's Gerard's birthday?
That's what he said.
Shout out to Gerard for the $162.
Gerard is, man. Hashtag
Shout
Mike
out
Dubs.
to everyone in the chat, man. We ride for the next 162 games. It's going to be a roller coaster, but For fuck's sake, can we get a good one? Just give us a good team. We're manifesting in the biggest way possible. I just want a fun. I want meaningful games in September. Give me meaningful games in September, and I can at least live with that.
I definitely think that's realistic. I think I wouldn't predict the Cubs to win the division or even make the playoffs, but I think they compete well into September. I think they'll be up there playing meaningful games through September. I think when they get to September, they're in some actual games that matter.
As Cody likes to say, it's a good day to go 1-0.
It is.
And it actually holds true. Fraz is ready.
Fraz is ready.
Thanks to Goose Island Country Club. We're going to do some free giveaways. All the diehards that showed up, make sure you go to allchgo.com. Get the free dope merch. When you sign up to be a diehard, the free shirt and the new dope merch, make sure you do that. Opening day is a holiday. That's a good one, too. We will see you for the post-game show, a full hour afterwards. Can we get a Go Cubs Go chant going? Oh, a CHGO, 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 CHGO. Fly the W. See you for the post-game show.